how your fantasy get your first job might have gone. You have your lovely pinning ceremony, families are all here, get your pin, go home, pick up the answering machine, 5 job offers in 12 hours. So you pick out the one that really, this is the one that you like the best. And they're so grateful that you said yes, that they give you an extra 3 weeks of paid vacation. So that was like a fantasy. And then we had the economy. And it changed a little bit. Well, okay, it changed a big bit. So I want to talk tonight about getting your first job. When I was a senior nursing student, I planned that my first job would be in pediatrics. I loved pediatrics. I didn't want to do anything but pediatrics. And, you know, I was kind of a typical overachieving nursing student. And, you know, you're used to, you know what you have to do, you study, you work hard, you're reasonably intelligent, and we're kind of, aren't we? We're kind of used to getting what we want, aren't you? You know, you plan it out, you get what you want. We're spoiled. And so I figured, okay, I'm gonna do my senior semester in pediatrics. So I got up early on the sign-up day, went to the school, and discovered that my so-called friends had beaten me out for all of the pediatric rotations. And I was stuck with what was left over. Respiratory, adult, intensive care. Now, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it was that the professor for that rotation, well, we better just call her WA. Which is a nightmare. But you know, when you're a senior, you do what it takes, right? Whatever it is. Another ATI, another log, you know? Take it on. Whatever it takes to get out of here. You just do it. And that's what I did. I thought, okay, I'm a senior, I'm just gonna suck it up. I'm gonna go with WA. I'm going to be a respiratory intensive care nurse, just for this semester. Well, that was the semester I got my first D. Yeah, Professor W.A. said that I did not know how to think. Idiot. But you know, when you're a senior, you do what it takes. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be a respiratory intensive care unit nurse. I'm going to hang out with WA for this semester. And I'm going to practice thinking. And an amazing thing happened to me that semester. I did it. I learned how to think. And I got good at what I did. I didn't think I would like it, but as I got good at doing this job, I liked it more and more. One day I was coming out of an isolation room. That's where a patient has an infection, and we have to put extra coverings over us that we, take off before we leave the room, but it covers your name badge. And I was coming out of the room, I took off my garb, and this doctor looks at my name tag and says, "You're a student?" He thought I was a nurse. Now luckily, I realized he was paying me a compliment before I, in my usual sarcastic, snotty voice, snipped back, "You're a doctor?" And say, stop myself just in time. So, I didn't get what I wanted, but I learned to want what I got. Now, that's not a lesson that you learn from your college professors. And okay, to be honest, it's not something you were born knowing either. It's a lesson you learn from your family. Or maybe a first grade teacher. When you're going out to recess and all you want to do is swing, and you've been thinking about it through that whole morning, and you run out to the playground and there's all these people occupying the swing, and they're big, they're like third graders. So you turn to your teacher. What should you do? And this teacher probably gave you two options. You can sit and wait by the swing, or you can go over and play on the jungle gym. And what did you do? Well, if you pick the jungle gym, you might find that it's kind of fun, really, there's a lot of variety. You can climb and slide and sit down, and great panoramic views, and you can even swing on a jungle gym, really. You might find that you like the jungle gym so much you stayed there for the whole recess, or maybe you thought, no, I'd still like to swing, but when the swing opened up, you're right on top of the jungle gym, easy leap over to the swing. What if you picked the other option, waiting for the swing? Now, maybe somebody got off the swing pretty soon after you got there, and then you could swing. Maybe not. Because you know how swinging kids are. They see a line, they know they got something good, and they are not going anywhere. They will stay on that swing for the whole recess, and you will sit there. And maybe toward the end they get up to leave. But meanwhile, your muscles have atrophied, sitting there on the ground waiting. And as soon as the swing is open and you try and get up and go for it, no, some kindergartner runs over and gets the swing. You know, it's really an honor to be asked to speak at the pinning ceremony, and you always want to, say something profound and motivational and stuff like that. And like Katie, I thought, gosh, who do you turn to for inspiration? I thought you had some great examples of who you turn to get like some great sayings to put into your speech. And I started on this trail, and then I realized, duh! One of the greatest teachers of all time, Dr. Seuss. Oh, the places you'll go. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the one who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some, you will say, I don't want to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too good to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? And how much can you win? You can get so confused that you'll start into race, headed, I fear, for a most useless place. The waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for the swing. Or for the phone to ring. waiting around for that most perfect job. Yeah, waiting around with the rest of the mob. Waiting for some old crotchety nurse to retire so they can apply for the job they desire. Waiting perhaps for a much better break because they want to eat it and still have their cake. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying, though you may be sane. You'll enter the jungle gym, though you may be praying that someday you'll leave there. And maybe you will. But your legs will be strong and your mind will be keen. You will leap from that beam and snap up that job that may be your dream. Or maybe you'll find you like the gym just fine. You're good now, remember. You can climb and slide down. You can swing if you want, or look all around. There's so much to do, and you're good at it too. And that's all it took for you to feel good in your professional look. You like what you're good at. You're good at what you do. So go on now, get going. We're talking to you. It's the same thing we said when you stood by the door, afraid to meet your first patient, staring at the floor, waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting perhaps for the staff nurse to do it? For the syringe to fill itself? For your faculty to leave the unit? Waiting for a patient to request a 3-hour bath? Nurses to sing your praises, or at least not to laugh? Just do it. Just do it, we said, before we knew that you could and you would. And I guess it got easy because you stuck with the program. But again, you feel queasy. Afraid of that first job, and again we say do it. Do what you can find. Start using that knowledge packed up in your mind. Do it well. Be the best. Give all you can give. As a nurse, you know it's the best way to live. And when you found what you do well, I think you will find it's the best job for you. It's the best place to be. So on behalf of your preceptor, your teachers, and best friend, be patient with me, folks, I'm almost at the end. On behalf of your family, especially Pop and Mom, thanks for letting us be part of who you have become.